Hello everybody, welcome to the first Python video of the Python unit of Math 9. If you're coming from the MATLAB videos, there's lots of kind of new syntax things to get used to, so just be on a lookout for anything that seems a little bit different. There's going to be a lot of syntax that looks very similar but is slightly different. And in this video, we're going to start by introducing two data types that on the surface seem pretty different, but that in fact have a lot of similarities. So sometimes when we start this unit in Math 9, we start by introducing lists and tuples and sets, which are all very similar on the surface. But to start off with, let's start by just looking at two things that are pretty different, at least initially. So we've already seen strings in MATLAB. They're going to work same in Python. We're going to say, let's call a variable s. This is going to be the string hello world. So keeping with tradition of displaying hello world when we're learning a new programming language. Now to evaluate this cell, I'm going to press shift and then return. And then what happens here, so there's no error. And the number in the brackets here is telling me, okay, this is the first input, and on the surface, nothing's gone wrong. To convince you that s is a string, what I can do is type of s, shift return, and we can see here this returns str for string. Another thing we could do is I could type print of s and then shift return, and this prints out to the screen hello world. So strings should be pretty familiar. We've worked with them a lot in MATLAB. Maybe just one more thing I could show you is I'll call this S2. I could also define hello world with single quotations. So I could say hello world. I could do type of s. This is still a string. And I could print s. Sorry, I did type of s instead of type of s2. Let's fix it. Still a string. And then I could also print s2. And we get hello world. So something nice that we can do in Jupyter Notebook is, unlike in MATLAB, I can click above. So in MATLAB, when we were in the command window, remember, we would have to kind of redo a lot of commands. Here, I can click and edit cells directly. So that's one nice benefit. So like I said, we've seen strings. We're going to see a new Python data type called lists. And what I'm going to do, let's call the variable mylist. And the way you let Python know that you're creating a list is you use square brackets, and then you type what you want to go in your list. So let's just say 3, 1, 4, 1. I can evaluate it. Let's check the type of my list. We can see it's a list data type. And one thing that we can do with lists is indexing. So same way that we would index vectors and arrays in MATLAB, we can do the same thing in Python. So I can say my list, and then I use square brackets for indexing. So this is one syntactical difference from MATLAB. And another big difference is indexing in Python starts at 0. So if I want to get the first element of my list, so 3, what I need to do is say 0. I evaluate it, I get 3. Versus if I do my list of 1, this returns 1. So the way the counting works is we go 0, 1, 2, 3. So again, indexing starts at 0. If I want to check the length of my list, I do len, which is short for length, s, and I can see here, oops, and I really should have done my list, but we'll see for s in a minute. So this is, remember, s is our string hello world. So it's saying this has length 11, and let's just talk about it now. So why does it have length 11? Well, let's take a look at s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the W, 8, 9, 10, 11. So each letter counts as an element contributing to the length, and it's also counting the space in between them as well. So it would have been totally reasonable to expect the length of hello world to be maybe 2, one for hello, the second one for world. But here you want to think of each letter as acting as its own element of a list. Initially what I wanted to do is let's try the length of my list. And we can see that's 4. As a reminder, my list is 3, 1, 4, 1, so that has 4 elements. If I try something like So let's say I want to get the very last element of S. So that would be the letter D here. I might want to try something like S of length of S, but this is going to cause an error. So let's see. So the error is saying string index is out of range. So remember, we said length of S was 11. Or sorry, I highlighted the wrong thing. Length of S was 11. But notice I'm doing S of 11, but this is an indexing error, right? Because there's no index 11. I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if I really wanted to get the last element, I do length of S minus 1. And that returns the letter D. So that's one way of doing it. But an even better way of doing it, and one that you'll see more commonly, is I could do S of negative 1. And what that means is take the last element. So very similar to how we would write end in MATLAB, negative 1 is going to get us the last element. So here we see D. I could very similarly do S of negative 2, and we expect that to give us L. So it's just counting backwards, so negative 1, negative 2. Oops. Similarly, let's remember my list. So remember, this is 3, 1, 4, 1. I could do my list of negative 1. That gives me 1. I could do my list of negative 2, and that should give me 4. So kind of short intro to indexing. Most important thing is to remember that indexing starts at 0, and we have this nice notation for counting backwards, so getting the last element, second to last element, and so on. So another important type of indexing is what we call slicing in Python. And again, very similar to MATLAB, but with a few key differences. So again, let's take a look at S. So remember, this is hello world. And I can say, okay, take S, start at the first index, go up to, but don't include the fourth. So typically in Python, we do not include the right endpoint. So this will take 1, 2, 3, but not 4. So let's see what happens. So remember, H is the 0 index, E is 1, 2, 3, so ELL. Then we don't include the fourth, because again, just in Python, we typically do not include the right endpoint. There's a reason for this, so you might be wondering, why does Python not include the right endpoint? It's because if we want to do something like S of, I can say, :5, what this means is start at the first entry, go up to, but don't include the fifth index. But this notation means that I have exactly 5 elements. And let's see what gets returned. So you can see here I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's exactly 5 elements kind of included, but it starts at index 0, goes to index 4. So that's one reason why we don't include the right endpoint. It's because something like this would tell me I have exactly 5 elements. Whereas if I were to include the 5th endpoint, that would have the space after, so there would be 6 elements. Another abbreviation we can do is we can do something like S of 3 and then colon. What this tells us is start at index 3, go all the way to the end. So let's take a look. So remember, here's S. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So we start at this L, and then we go all the way to the end, and that's exactly what got returned here. So all of these things that I show you, they work exactly the same for list. So you could say list of give me up to 5. You could say list, start at 3, go to the end. So I won't show you them for list, just know that all the same kind of techniques work. Another thing that we could do is we could say S of, now again, notation is going to be slightly different from MATLAB, so lots of potential for confusion. I highly recommend trying these examples on your own and kind of playing around with some of your own examples. I can say S of 1, go to 7, go up by 2. So again, start at the first index, go up to but don't include index 7, count by 2. So let's see what happens here. So 0, here's 1, E is 1. Then we go up by 2, that gives me L. Go up by 2 again, that gives me the space. And then we don't include 7, so we're done here. Another example. So what if I wanted to kind of alternate, so count every other? I could do S of, so the double colons means, here it means start at the first entry, or the 0th entry really, go up by 2, give me up to the second element, or the second index. Or sorry, I misspoke here. So what this means is start at 0, go to the end, but count by 2. So this is a little bit different. So in the MATLAB notation, remember, counting by 2s would kind of go in between here. But this double colon means start at the beginning, go to the end, count by 2. So let's see how that works. So beginning H, L, O, W, R, D. If I wanted the complement of this, so instead start at E and count up by 2s, go to the end, the notation for this would be S, start at 1, go to the end, count by 2s. So let's do it. Here we have E, so that's first entry, first index, go up by 2, then we get to L, up by 2, give space, up by 2, O, up by 2, L. So like I mentioned, all of these same techniques, slicing techniques, indexing techniques, they all work for lists. We saw examples with strings. In the next video, we're going to see an introduction to what are called tuples and sets and compare them to lists. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.